Yo, what's up? I'm Guillaume and I've been practicing calisthenics for about 8 years. And I've gotten a question on my YouTube on how to increase your pull-ups. So I decided to make a simplified but just really informational topic to discuss. So it's how to increase your repetitions drastically. And there's not a lot of fancy editing, not a music or any videos. It's just the thing is I will explain you everything that you need to know on how to increase your repetitions. And by the end of the video, you'll understand what things you need to keep in mind and what core things or what core things you need to do to increase your repetitions. So, why should you up your repetitions? Like, if you're hitting a plateau in your trainings and you can't seem to increase the repetitions of an exercise through consistency, so you've been training consistent for about some months, but you can't seem to get the repetitions up, and you want to burn more calories with strength training because when you up the volume, when you up the repetitions with that kind of muscle mass, you get to burn a lot of calories. And you don't need to do any running or any cycling or any cardio stuff. Me personally, I don't really like it. I like to just do pull-ups and dips and push-ups to burn fat, you know. It's not that hard. Um, but if you have the muscle mass and you want to up your volume and up your repetitions to just, yeah, look shredded, as you can see here, you know, that was before summer. I didn't do any cardio, and on the right picture right here, I didn't do any cardio and only, yeah, just wrapping it out and upping my volume and eating a little bit less, of course. Now, the reasons why this is not working is because you haven't mastered the basics and of a hard compound movement. The pull-up is a hard compound movement. I still believe it's a hard move, you know. I couldn't do any pull-ups when I started calisthenics, so that's not an exercise you actually start with. But you haven't mastered the basics of the pull-up. There are some foundational exercises that you might have missed that you need to incorporate to make sure you can up your repetitions. Yeah, your foundations are lacking. It might be that you don't really have the a good scapula protraction and contraction, or your core is just not there yet, you know. How long has it been since you trained your core? How good is your core strength? And how good is your straight arm strength as well? Now, your nutrition might be neglected. You don't really pay attention to what you eat, or your form is being neglected. Like I said, the scapula. Your form is just, it's all over the place. Your thumbs are not underneath the bar. Your arms are not fully extended. You don't engage your shoulder blades before going up in the motion. And you really don't respect the negative form when going back down. You don't have enough rests and you're just not pushing hard enough. Those are like the reasons, but I will go deeper into it. Now, mastering the basics and upping the reps for your pull-up. So I'll be using the pull-up as an example, and I broke down some foundational exercises, and like that you should have a more better understanding of how to increase your repetitions for about every exercise. Now, first, you have to master all the basics that set the pillars straight, so your pull-up on itself has a great foundation to rest upon. If one of these pillars break, you are not maintained or are not maintained, the pull-up itself will also begin to weaken. And normally when the pull-up is being achieved at a high rep range, there is less maintenance required for the pillars. So once you are like repping it out and you're above 12 and you hit 15 and 20, it gets really fast after that when you're above 12 or 13 and 14. It gets really fast then because Like, you don't really have to do any maintenance on the pillars. The pull-up itself becomes a foundational exercise for other skills. But because we are not at the desired rep range, the next foundations should be done on the regular and should feel easy. So these exercises, they should feel easy. And I will show you a video on how to do it. Now, you have the dead hang, and the dead hang, you should at least 30 seconds, and maybe even a minute at least. Yeah, let's change that to a minute. Because your straight arm strength and just the whole dead hang is one of the foundations exercises that you should have done in the beginning. And it tests your strength, your grip strength. And how does that look like? Here, I hope you can see this. This is the dead hang. So you go with your thumbs underneath the bar and you go hang everything. Let everything hang. So as you see here in the video, I grab my thumbs underneath, pointing towards my fingers, and then I put my feet in front of me. Not after me, in front of me, and I just hang. I try to do it as long as possible and don't swing. Now, this couple of pull-ups, you should do at least like 10 to 15 repetitions to know if you're on a good path. And this couple of pull-ups, did I say push-ups? No, I hope not. This couple of pull-ups, they're actually the first movement that you do when you pull up. So that is the engagement of your shoulder blades. How does that look like? As you can see here, I go ahead and grab with my thumbs underneath, then I go into the dead hang, and the only thing that goes up are my shoulder blades. So they go and contract as if they want to touch each other. So with this, yeah, like 10 to 15 repetitions. If you can't do that, just those are the first exercises you should be doing. You should test yourself if you can't do these. If you're lacking one, you know what to work on. Your negative pull-ups, at least 8 repetitions. This is like a negative pull-up. So you use a bench or a step up to go over the bar. So you're already above the bar. And then what you do is you contract everything on this part here. And your thumbs should be underneath the bar as well. And make sure you hold it at least like 3 or 4 seconds with your chin above the bar. And just hold it, hold it, hold it, and then drop down slowly and fully down, fully back into the dead hang. Don't bend your arms and say you're finished already. What you put in is what you get out. So fully descend. Yeah, about 8 or so. That's really good. You're going to feel that it's a hard exercise. Now, resistance band pull-ups. These are like these go into progress. How do I say that? You start with the heaviest band and then you go into a weaker band or a lighter band, and eventually you get onto your own body weight and you get to add weight. So as an example here, it's just easy. You just wrap it around the bar. Make sure your feet are in it, not your knees. I don't really like it because your form is not really that good then. Just go ahead and place your feet in front, not backwards. You don't have to do it all the time, but just, yeah, place them in front. And how it looks like is just normal pull-ups. You go into the dead hang, you engage your shoulder blades when going up, and then you make sure you go ahead and touch the bar at your chest or go over with your chin over the bar. Now, the last exercise is the mid and uphold pull-up. So you're going to go into a pull-up and then you hold at the 90-degree angle. So it's like this one. You grab and then you go and then you hold here for like 3 seconds and then you go up 3 seconds, mid 3 seconds, and then down. And then repeat that until you're finished. It's a hard exercise, but it's going to up your reps. So all this is like foundational exercises, and the last one will give you like a boost in strength. Now, there might be some other foundations that are lacking. Is maybe your core strength is just really bad, and you haven't trained your core in ages, and your core is also a muscle that is being used in the pull-up, so you should maintain that as well. Not mastering the basics, like I told you, like this basics. Every exercise has its own basics. So before like getting into a muscle up or a planche training or front lever training, always do the basics first, rep that out, and then go ahead and try the skill, but you have the foundations already. The positioning of the shoulder blades and the scapula, as you see here, that's a really good protraction. Shoulder blades should touch each other, or you go into a more arched position where your chin is going more over the bar, or you go into a more protracted situation or position like here where your chest is going to hit the bar. You can choose which kind of two. And your form is just not being strict and being respected. So whenever you're going down, go down slowly and get up explosively and go back down slowly and respect your form. Don't rush. Your nutrition might not be on point and you're eating too less to build the muscle you need. So if you're always trying to cut down fat and you're afraid of eating too much or gaining weight, you have to eat a little bit to gain muscle mass. Yes, of course, you can cut down and the weight will drop down, which means you need less weight to pull up yourself. But if you just had more muscle, you can still be happy and eat. So you might also be eating too much, which leads into fat gain and weight gain that you don't want. What you actually need to do is just a slight caloric surplus for muscle gain without the fat gain. So how would that look like? It's like if your maintenance was 2,300 calories, you should up that with 150 calories for muscle gain. And let's say that you're really fat. If your maintenance would be 2,300 as well, you should go into a minus 300 if you're like really fat and just maintain there at the 2,000 calories. But you need to eat high in protein and balanced because you need to fuel the body with proper nutrition. If you're going to fuel your body with sandwiches and pizza and fries and burgers, of course your pull-ups are going to look like shit. Now, one of the reasons why you don't have enough fuel to push or pull above your normal level is because you're not respecting your rest time. So I tend to rest 1 to 2 minutes before starting my set again. It gives me the optimal time to get after it again. So if you're only resting less than 1 minute, might be the reason. You need more rest for your muscles to recover and then get back into it. When I do training like this to get muscle, I never get out of my breath. Until like if I reach failure, of course I'm gonna have to catch my breath. But after that, like your heartbeat shouldn't be running that hard. It should be on a good level, you know, you should feel comfortable between the rest periods. And you're sleeping less than 6 hours. If you work a lot and if you have a high demanding job, physical high demanding job, then you should sleep more because, and if you don't have the time, yeah, it might be because, or maybe watch a little bit less Netflix or scrolling on your phone or anything. Like not having time is mostly just excuses to perform your bad habits. But yeah, most people don't want to see or hear that. But yeah, you need to sleep more. And if you sleep less than 6 hours, you know, if you get 6 hours or 7.5 or 7, that's good for muscle building. And if you're young, like really young, I advise you to sleep more. But yeah, don't train every day. You need rest days. It's just simple as that. That might also be a reason, You're not pushing hard enough, so you tend to stop when it gets hard, and you have an injury holding you back. So, I mean, no, let's first start with the beginning. So you tend to stop when it gets hard. When you're pulling and you feel as if like your seventh rep is like getting really hard, and it's like, oh, whoa, that was hard, I'm gonna stop. No, no, you won't get it. You won't get it then. You have to do the 2 more or 3 more. You need to feel it burn. You need to feel like this body, you don't get it with the mindset of, oh, whoa, that was it, Like, oh, I'm gonna rest now. It was more than enough. No. But still, you have to respect your form, You still have to respect your form. Don't rush through it. Don't, like I said, respect the time that you do over the pull up. Go ahead and pull up and then go slowly down. You might have an injury that's holding you back and you're trying to ignore it. You might have something on your bicep, tricep, neck, lower back, or even your knees, or your core, or something in your stomach, or I don't know what you have. But don't ignore it. Fix it first. There are lots of ways to fix it. And I'm not a doctor, but if you want any advice, just send me a DM on Instagram and I might help you. I've had many injuries on the past 8 years of calisthenics training. I've pushed myself too hard in ways that I shouldn't have, or my form was just all shit and bad. And like everything that I'm teaching you here is just trial and error. Yeah. But I'm trying to set you on the right track. Now, you are not in the 8 to 12 rep range, and if you're repping under 8 reps, you should choose an easier basic foundational exercise, or let's say you're doing push-ups and you can do 7 push-ups, then that's not good, Do knee push-ups and then you might have 10 knee push-ups and then keep going in that rep range, the 8 to 12 rep range. If you have more than 12 repetitions, then you should add resistance, but we are doing calisthenics, you should change the angle. It's like you're doing knee push-ups, that's a easier angle, then you should go towards normal push-ups. Then the angle gets changed, you get more stress on your muscles. Now, as a summary, to summarize everything that we just talked about, you have to push or pull hard enough so you reach failure within the 8 to 12 rep range. You need to make sure that you get all the foundational pillar exercises under the knee. You eat enough, but not too much, to counterbalance the fat gain and the muscle gain. You need enough rest between the sets and respect your sleeping schedule. If you want, DM me on Instagram and I can send you the PDF file of this document, and like that you can like grab that with you if you go to the gym or the park, or have it at home to like remind you of what needs to be done, or if you want the exercises that I just gave you, or you can just screenshot it here, But if you want the PDF file, just send me on Instagram. Yeah, that's like in the description. So if you want any further instructions, just check the description. So I hope this video actually helped you and that you can increase your repetitions now. And if you feel as if it's still not working, just send me a DM on Instagram and I might figure it out for you. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this helped. And yeah, go get after it, man. Do your workout today.